The following podcast is a Country Mompreneur production. Welcome to She Can and She Will. I'm Marianne, also known as the Country Mompreneur, and I'm joined by my co-host, Disa McAllister. We are moms, work-from-home experts, and we love helping women take control of their lives and see all the possibilities. On this show, you will learn from us as well as other women who kick butt in their lives and want to help you do the same. So sit back and get ready for some fun. Well, we are being joined today by Rebecca Leppard. We are so excited to learn all about you and your work. Rebecca, can you first start by telling us what brought you to where you are today? Your whole life story in 2 seconds, please.
My whole life story in 2 seconds. That I was born to two salespeople, and I think it's just in my DNA that I am going to be an entrepreneur. So there you are. The 2 seconds that my parents made me.
Those were the two most important seconds of your life. So why did you choose to start a business? Like, besides that, what drew you to this specific business?
Yes. Well, I've been an entrepreneur all my life, in that, I would sell stickers or merchandise for schools, not only my school, but other people's schools, because how people love their own school's merchandise. So I've been doing that. And then I had a party planning business, and I even at one point had my fresh almond milk delivery service. So yeah, I just like starting something new, from developing ideas to the branding to the selling. I know that a lot of people hate sales, but I love that aspect of the business, because I think for me, in my mind, when I'm just helping people by providing my product or services, if they actually say yes to what I'm selling, it means I'm helping them. That's it. If they say no, that's fine.
That's a great way of looking at it. I know for me and Disa, that's a hard part for us, is to get into the whole sales mind. Like, I'm just like you. I've run a bunch of different businesses to my life. I've always got new ideas. Disa could tell you I'm constantly coming up with new ideas for things. And it's fun to do the whole developing the business, but the sales part for me is very hard.
Yeah, I like that whole intro and getting in front of them, but closing, that is like, oh man, that is the hardest thing in the world. Yeah.
For me, closing is, I love closing because it's almost like, all right, so you're happy, with working with me, and therefore it's almost like trying to get married. Yes. The excitement of, you know what? As soon as we sign the contract, we can plan the wedding.
Oh my gosh.
Because,
so true.
Because the exciting part is the planning the wedding part.
That's true.
The marriage is hard work. So
that's a very good way to look at that.
Yeah. So it's like, excitement. So for me, what drives me is like, come on, when do you want to start? And if if you're on the fence, that's fine, and so on. And also, here's another thing about selling, that if we have an abundance mindset, and I love that my business coach said to me, it's like this: even if you imagine your entire ideal client, suddenly every single one of them say yes to you, will you even be able to serve them? If they say yes to you today, all of them won't.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
That is so every time you get, because I know sales is hard because nobody likes rejection, right? You're so averse to, oh my God, what if they say no?
Yeah.
And if you want to think about it, what if they say yes? What if all of them say yes?
You send out an email blast to 1,000 people hoping to get 2, and you get all of them to say yes. You're a little bit, and you're excited, but yet,
No. No matter how good you are, you won't be able to. Even if you hire anyone, you won't be able to serve them on the spot as you promised, right? So that's why I'm like, okay, if I get a rejection, in my mind, I'm like, okay, thank you, next. Right?
That's a good way to think.
And that same mindset that led me to today building my business, Upgrading Women, is because when I moved to England exactly 3 years ago in June 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, I got tons and tons of rejection because I was this new kid on the block. So the only UK-based LinkedIn contact I had was my sister-in-law. That is how little to zero my social capital was when I moved here. So, and I have an American accent. And I'm not white. So all of that biases, of course, and I'm a mother of 3.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So those, all the above put off a lot of people. And even though, and I'm sure you've heard of this story many times, like even if in your home country, you're a PhD or you're a medical doctor, you're a surgeon, as soon as you're an immigrant in the first world, you're a janitor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is the sad and ugly truth. And I thought at the time, okay, am I just too stupid to apply to these like comparable jobs? Because my last job was as a general manager in a consulting company in my country. Wow. But as soon as I got here, I did get a couple of callbacks from 5-star hotels, from agencies and all that. But as soon as they see, beyond the great CV, they see the color, the gender, the status and everything, they're put off. And I said, you know what? Maybe I'm not supposed to be building other people's business. Maybe I should just build my own business.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I told myself, okay, I should then, because I remember this, literally I was there in a 5-star hotel in London, face to face in the pandemic. So that means it was a serious business. It's not just, they were ready to hand me the contract. And they said, wait, you have to commute from Southampton to London and you have 3 young children. I don't think you can last in this job. And I'm like, I'm the judge.
That should be your decision to make if you think you can do it or not.
I know. And I got there. I was there in the flesh.
Yeah.
I swam through the COVID, took the train and so on and so forth in heels, makeup done, everything. So I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to work with people who, would doubt me anyway. So may as well work with the people that believe in me. And I started with me. So I worked for me. And a year later, now I have 7 more women who believe in me. And we're now building this business together.
Oh, nice. So tell us a little bit about what you do for your clients and why do you prioritize working with and for women?
Yes. So what we do for our client is to build their personal and their business brand. A lot of women, especially, you know how good we are, right? As a group, we agree that we are very good, but we are very bad at promoting ourselves and securing the funding, getting ourselves out there and putting our hands up and say that opportunity speaks for me. So what I do is, imagine yourself, you're a female founder of a tech company. And the first thing, a lot of people misunderstood, when you're building a tech company, it's not really the product per se that people invest in. It's you, the founder, and the traction, like how many people are actually interested in your community, in what you're building. because the final product is an iterative process. Facebook today is completely different to Facebook 10 years ago, right? So I help these female founders to build their brand, the tone of voice, to write about themselves. And again, a lot of women think, oh, who cares about my life story? No, everybody would care if you present it in an interesting, entertaining way. And so that's what I do. Sometimes I ghostwrite for my client. Sometimes I design great, carousel posts for them. So I do a lot of content in various shape and form, from pitching my client to be on a podcast, or pitching for them to be in the media, basically pushing them out of their shell so that people will get buy-in, either to use their product or services, or to invest in them. So this is, and the reason why I work with women and for women only is I think we need more women to be in the room where designs are being drawn and decisions are being made. Otherwise, the world is heading to a very dangerous place.
Yeah, agreed.
Right? We need women there shaping policies, designing all the technologies that we need. How come the world's biggest period tracker is not built by women?
I didn't know that.
And guess what they do with the data that we provide? Because when we input, okay, we're having a period today, it's heavy flow, and tomorrow is whatever, that's data. That's data points, right?
Mm-hmm.
And guess what they do with that data? Of course, they're going to sell it to the highest bidder, right? Okay, this woman is PMSing. Let's sell them chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep, that is crazy. I did not even think about them doing that. Yeah.
Exactly. So and when women, you can see the difference when women is building the technology for they think about the safety and security. They think about how families are going to use it. So this is like my, I don't know, second, third degree contribution to society, because no, we cannot have the world. It's already a patriarchal world. And if the tech that is built, and let's face it, the tech is what govern our lives. Look where we are now. We are completely in three different time zones, and yet we're doing this podcast. So that's why people think, Rebecca, why are you focusing on tech? It's because our life is around tech. We need tech that is designed for and by women, because we're the only ones thinking about the safety and security. We're thinking about our children. Whereas the tech bros are just thinking about the next mansion and sports car they're going to buy.
So are you working with, say someone's listening and they're thinking they want to work with you. Are you working with people that are already established that need help? Are you working with people that are new? Are you working with people that are in office or remote? What type of people are you working with?
So I have two offers. So one is for those who receive, early stage companies who received funding. So they have the money, but they don't have a full staff team of marketers, etc. Normally it's, companies in the size of 5 to 10 people. They have the website, they're building, and they need to go to market. They need to get, okay, Rebecca, I need to prove to my investors that I can have 100 people downloading my app by summer, things like that. And another one is something that I want to offer to a more affordable, and this is for literally anyone, especially, I'm just imagining, I'm empathizing with those who are trying to get out of corporate world and try to build their own side hustle, and I'm thinking about all these women or moms who are unemployed, but they want to break free from whatever that is abusing them, be it a toxic relationship, or they want to get out of the bad neighborhood, whatever it is, and they need money. Money is what makes people move, right? So I offer them a content club. So it's a group of, again, women that is getting coaching from me. Like, okay, today we're going to challenge you to write something from your childhood, like write on your LinkedIn today at the same time, just so that we can hype each other up. What did you want to be when you were a kid? And then, so my prompts, my trigger will help them put themselves out there, because again, as women, we're like, nobody's interested, or do I not look vain if I post something like this? But when we're doing it together as a collective, plus being coached by someone who's, who do this for a living, who charges people thousands and thousands of dollars every month, you better believe that this is working. So yeah, so I always love the financial model where I charge premium to my premium clients, but I make it affordable for the masses, because I want to see the bottom top percentile and the top the bottom and the top percent working together, subsidizing each other, because everybody needs everyone, right? Because the wealthiest people, if suddenly the mass market do not have the capacity to buy their product, they're gone. Yeah. Amazon will die if people cannot afford their services anymore, right? So yeah, so that is how I serve people.
That was a fantastic answer.
Yeah, I love that answer.
What are you most proud of?
I think what I'm most proud of is when my client shouts, "I love you" to me.
Aww.
I mean, I just, this is why I love working with women, They are genuinely, they already pay me, okay, for my services. They don't have to say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
And they say, "I love you" to me. For me, it's like, oh my God, and it's just like proof my theory, that my hypothesis, that when you're trying to help other people success in their business, if that is your business model, and you genuinely help them, and you just happen to be reimbursed for your effort and your time, then the other person will feel it. So, and that is what is missing in a lot of business transaction in the world, because it's a transaction, it's a tit for tat. It's like, okay, that's why I never want to charge by the hour, because I work so efficiently that my body of work will be produced, in less than an hour, for example. Secondly, I don't want to limit you from asking for my help. Like, I charge retainer. Any time of the day you feel like, oh, Rebecca, I got this idea. Or even like last week is the most tangible. Remember that last week Thread was launched?
Kind of hard to miss that one, yeah.
So it was launched. For anyone working in content marketing, etc., it was a big thing. It was a big day. 6th of July, Thread was launched. And of course, I can bet you in every single agencies in the whole wide world, nobody has Thread in their job description or in the service level agreement. No one.
Right. Yeah.
But I was having lunch and I was texting with my client and I said, "Hey, are you on Thread yet? You should do it," I said. And of course, because it's not part of my job description, it's not part of my contract, I didn't have to do it. I didn't even have to discuss it with them. But I said, you know what? hold my beer emoji.
Mm-hmm.
Within 5 minutes, I created their thread profile already with a post, already with a bio, link and everything. I took a screenshot and shared it to them, and they're like, "Oh my God, Rebecca, you're a legend." That is like, A, it's not in the contract, and B, that they didn't even have to ask me like, "Ooh, is it possible that you do this for us?" No. I'm like, hold my beer. I'll do it for you. 5 minutes. Right?
And that's part of what's fun of getting to know and working with clients personally. You can tell, okay, this is not something you're going to easily be able to do, and I certainly can. And let me take care of that for you. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. And even, I mean, these are like, my clients are tech builders. Of course, they have the capacity to do everything that I do. I mean, I'm not a rocket scientist. Of course, they can write their own posts, they can design their own graphics, but what I know about female founders is that we are more prone to burnout because, of course, we are also mothers. We are also carers of our parents, our siblings, the community, the stray cat that we see in front of our door.
The impossibility to say no.
Exactly. And the PTA and the whatever kung fu class that we need to take care of. So yeah. It's amazing. And, if I may add, another thing that I'm most proud of is that I also hire fellow moms, fellow, female who would not otherwise be looked at just because their CV is not, from Ivy League schools. So I hire for culture, not for certificates. So that is why I'm just so happy and stoked to if you cannot find the book that you want to read, you should write it. So this is why I build a company that I wish there is already established, and I work for them. So there's no company that I want to work for that actually deserve my talent, because of course they don't believe in me. So yeah, let's build this, and let's work for good people, genuine people. And I so believe that good attracts good.
Mm-hmm. I think some of the best people I've worked with haven't had the best CV in the room. They've been the people that maybe have just worked hard their whole life, but didn't get a fancy degree in all of this stuff. They just have the want.
Exactly. And this is why we should break that poverty cycle.
Yep.
And I hire from around the world as well. Because you know that your zip code is almost like your fate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was born in a third world country, and this is, I married my British husband, who was an expat in Indonesia, where I'm from. And I saw his salary, right? Yo, between you and I, who's smarter, do you think? Just because you hold that passport, the first world passport, you're paid more than me because I'm quote unquote local talent.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. That is why. So now when I work with people, when I hire people, I hire them at double the minimum salary of where they're located.
Oh, good. That's very cool. Yeah.
I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
How can you get out of poverty if you're just circling in it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. So what is one tip that you would give people to inspire them today to get motivated on whatever journey they're on, regardless of where they are in the world?
Desensitize yourself with failure. If you fall so many times, like my little boy, the 100th time you fall, you won't feel the pain.
Oh.
And therefore you won't have any doubt to jump and try again the 102nd time, the 103rd time.
Gotcha.
You want to desensitize yourself from rejection, and failure and heartbreak.
That's a tough one for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, well, Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us today. I think what you're doing is so worthwhile. And we'll leave some links in the description, so people can find you. But do you have a preferred method that they reach out to you on?
Yes, please. So if you could, reach out to me on LinkedIn, I'm Rebecca Leppard on LinkedIn. You'll find me in the pink. That's my color.
That is perfect. Well, thank you so much. And we really enjoyed having you on today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening. She Can and She Will is a Country Mompreneur production. Audio mix by Marianne. Research by Disa McAllister. To learn more about this and other Country Mompreneur productions, visit thecountrymompreneur.com.